Well, Trump's base is the dog that caught the car, which is surprising since
everything's computer.
Donald Trump, seen here slipping into something a little more incriminating, continues to plead to his boys and in some cases gals, nope, still not a phrase, that false alarm, no Epstein client list, no conspiracy, case closed. Turns out you didn't need all those QAnon hashtags after all. Look, if you grew up in the 90s, you know this isn't the first time the government has pretended important files don't exist. But this is a bit of a 180 from printing out binders suggesting additional phases that now will never happen. Who do you think you are, the MCU? But what would additional evidence even look like? Well, maybe a lewd birthday letter Trump reportedly wrote to Epstein according to discredited gossip rag The Wall Street Journal? Really? Aren't they known for business and finance? Well, I guess the president going down due to his connection to a convicted sex trafficker would in a roundabout way cause fluctuation in my portfolio. The letter, written only 3 years before Epstein's 2006 arrest, features a dirty drawing of a naked woman. Anyone who went through puberty before the internet is like, wow, I hope that's not a crime. And an imaginary dialogue between the two, with Trump saying, enigmas never age, because he's apparently the Riddler. And ends with Trump writing, may every day be another wonderful secret. Look, I never know what to write in a birthday card either, but I don't think I've ever accidentally wished a sex trafficker to have more things to keep private. I'm sorry, this is so bonkers incriminating. It's like when the writers try to wrap up an episode of SVU in the last 2 minutes. Oh, you have nothing to do with the defendant? Well, what about this photo we just found of you committing the crime together that you signed to my bestie? Gotcha! Credits. Trump's base isn't taking the cover up well, but how could they predict the guy who lied about his health records, tax returns, crowd size, election results, square footage, oath of office, border wall, university, there's more, but I need to breathe, would be forthcoming about his connection with Jeffrey Epstein? Everyone is so laser focused on this story that most of us already forgot this week that Trump also randomly praised Ted Kaczynski, though no birthday card has been leaked. Yet. Okay, Mr. President, high stakes. Why do you think your supporters keep talking about this?
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time.
Ignoring someone because they're dead isn't the best argument coming from someone who randomly brought up the Unabomber in 2025, but keep going.
I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff.
Boring? I don't know, you don't look particularly bored here, and if I'm honest, I would describe your dancing as an enigma, so that checks out. Now look, it has been fun watching which conservative influencers struggle to find a cohesive message here, some heeding the president's orders to just stop talking about it.
Even though there are unanswered questions about Epstein, it is in fact time to move on.
I didn't know you could ask people to follow you while promising not to do anything. Who am I kidding? Of course I do. Hit me up on Twitch. Meanwhile, other commentators are straight up rewriting history.
Bill,
this is what
hold on.
he
Hold on. Bill, hold on. You said Epstein was convicted during the Biden administration. Epstein committed suicide during the Trump administration.
Yeah, so?
How is he convicted? How do you convict
Epstein
a guy who's dead?
was convicted in I believe, okay, under Merrick Garland's Justice Department. That could be. Am I wrong on that?
There is something strangely satisfying seeing conservative pundits that my parents used to watch slowly approach dementia. We're only a few years away from Glenn Beck in a retirement home ranting to nobody. We let him have the board, but we took away his chalk. I'm kidding, Bill. I love you. It took 30 years, but I finally empathize with why you only want to work with a clear script. Look, this is obviously a huge story, and I am fascinated that the administration's spin hasn't yet worked on corralling his base, and I've agreed with right-wing commentators so much this week, I'm worried I opened a vortex into a demon dimension. But this is now plenty of time for them to fix the message, manufacture some kind of bogus evidence to appease the MAGA faithful, at least enough to move on. And I just want, in these days and weeks to come, for his followers to remember exactly how he treated you here, how unreceptive he was to your concerns, how mean-spirited he was to you for simply asking for transparency. Because to me, this is the real story. I don't know if Trump was guilty of having a summer home on Epstein's island, though after that birthday message, I think they might be in love. But you were absolutely right, based on the evidence presented, to simply ask for answers. And his response was to call you weak, selfish, bad people, and he doesn't want your support. The same venom he throws at everyone he disagrees with, because it doesn't come from integrity, and it's never been about draining the swamp. He spent a decade telling you to do your own research, don't believe the narrative, question the government, because there's bad people out there. And this time, things aren't adding up, and when you needed your leader to level with you, instead you got...
Yeah, so?
See you next time. Hi, I'm trying to grow my channel, so if you like this, watch another one. Like, share, subscribe, do the thing, follow me. You know how it is. Just, I put on a suit. Well, the top of a suit. Top of a Suit's a good band name.